I'd like to open or soften my heart more, and I wonder if, considering my particular vibration, if you could give me any practical advice or clarity on that.
Mm. This is a very difficult task, softening the heart. There are many exercises in that we can give you. We'll give you a couple of them, but you also must understand that the softening of the heart also at times demands that you sort of stifle the brain. You understand? In that. The heart becomes closed off many times out of fear of loss, fear of being hurt, fear of being abandoned, left behind, and all of those things, yes? And so it's important that in addition to the exercises, it's also important that you begin to explore a little bit more about what it is in you that has you afraid. Because the your hearts have donned this armor because you've lived away from each other for so long, because you've sort of put your nails into these ideas about what something should look like, about what love looks like, or because you get so caught up in trying to create something that is not natural, that in that creation of your life, you forget the very things that matter, and yet it's the thing you seek out the most. You see, this is the human conundrum. Is that you walk so far away from the heart, and yet you know it, and so you try so desperately to fill that heart and to have it feel full by someone or something outside of you. And when it fails to do that, you put on another sheath. You put on another layer to keep yourself protected, to keep yourself what you deem to be safe. But were you to understand, to really, really understand that there is nothing to lose if you were to really grasp the concept that you are light, that you do not die, and that you are a part of the cosmic love of all things, then you would not feel a need to hold on to something in such a way as though your very life and heart depended on it. Love is a way of being. Love is an action. Love is a way of walking through the world with your heart open. And when that heart is open, it isn't so much about what can I get from it, because love doesn't care. But instead, what can I give? What can I offer? Where is the need? And from that place of love, from that heart center of self, nothing is too much. Because when you're living from that place, it is so open that all of the energy of the universe is going through. And you have no fear of any loss of anything because you know that love just keeps coming and giving and coming and giving. But so often in your human world you look at it in terms of your mates or your desired mates or your intended mates or your aforementioned mates or your no longer mates. A human being cannot hold another human being's spirit. And that is the first part of the lesson that's important to learn. This lesson, it takes a little time, and you get there. But let us go back to your question specifically about opening that, about softening that. There are certainly many good practices that many teachers have brought to your world today, where you can do what you call your meditation. And in your meditation you may perhaps visualize the peeling away of the layers, or perhaps you will bring in some higher energy vibrations of love, which oftentimes will be the color pink or the color green, and you allow it to permeate through you. You can do this each day in your meditation. For some of you, it would be to start just with meditation in and of itself, because that begins to soften the extraneous edges. And to get to the heart, you gotta smooth some of this out first. Because when you try to get in there, it starts all bouncing off and all of that. Or perhaps for many of you that have tried meditation and say, oh, but I cannot do this because my mind keeps racing. And that is why. Your mind is racing, because otherwise it's going to get down to your heart. And so we say, let it race. Eventually it will tire itself out just like a small child. Maybe not in one setting or two, but it will eventually tire itself out. Notice as you're doing that, when it begins tiring itself out. And if you keep your attention here, you may notice that you start to feel things. You may notice that those things that you keep stuck down inside of you start to bubble up. Let them. And if you notice your mind to start going again, just say, it's okay, mind. It's okay, heart. I am here with you. For in order to allow the heart to soften, you must first get in there and dig out the rocks and the mortar that you've built inside. This is a practice that you can do each day. Another very good way, a way that we highly promote, in addition to, because you see, you have to start with some of these meditations and visualizations and all that, just because people are so clogged up right now. Not everyone, many of you have been working on that, but so many people are still clogged up here. There are many great workers that can help also to move some of that, but ultimately, what's in here you have to be able to get to yourself in order to work through that. But a very good way is also to serve humanity. To go out and find people less fortunate than you. To go out and walk down the street and just look around, really, really look. Look into another person's eyes and don't look away. For in doing that, you will be able to meet in that place of love, that place of recognizing each other. And when you do that, some of that armor, it just begins to melt away. Instead of gearing to open your heart so that you might gain love from it, open your heart instead because you are love. And all of you need to feel that from each other. All of you need to see that reflection in each other. And can you imagine the magnitude of that love? Can you imagine the vibration of that as each of you meet eye to eye and heart to heart? What that can build for your world. Go and sit out in nature. Sit against the tree. And allow yourself to feel its life beats coming through your back and in through your heart. This also will help you to get in touch with that heart. And you can give to that tree that is rooted in the earth your disappointments, your fears and your tears and all of that. And it will bring it to the earth and recycle it. And for you seated here asking about softening your heart, what we say to you in encouragement is, you are here. You are here. And so you are listening now to your heart's call. And it is beginning to move, to reshape, until finally one day you will find it at its center and most beautiful, glorious self. And this we say to each of you: do not go out and try to find love. Instead, be love. Be it. In all of its magnificence, in all of its frailties, in all of its vulnerabilities. For that is truly the essence of what each and every one of you is. And that is all you are. Never beginning, never ending, never failing love. Do you understand?
I do, thank you.